Hi, all. This is Dr. J at 11, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather has been, shall we say, oppressively hot, hazy, hot, humid weather. Can't wait for a break, which I think we're due to have over the weekend. In the meantime, there's always the stock market to cool us off on a day like today in a nice air-conditioned place, watching the tickers go by. Today, there wasn't much glee on the street as the FAANG, FAANG, led the NASDAQ lower. The NASDAQ being the big loser on the day, down about 1.33%, while the Dow eked out a small gain of about 1/10 of 1%, and the S&P 500 was down a small fraction, maybe 1/4 of 1%. So that's how it looked today on the street. We're going to look at some charts to analyze the FANG. But first, my little housekeeping. All my opinions are my own. Do your own due diligence. Check with an investment advisor before following anyone's opinion, including Dr. J's. All right, so let's take a look at the video charts. I'm going to share my screen now. It'll take about 3 to 4 seconds before you will be able to see the charts on my screen. So let's start with, I don't know, let's start with a good one, Amazon. Amazon has been zooming. It's been an all-star amongst all-stars. It's in a zoom channel, and it's been getting many touches along the top end of its channel, top end of its trend line. Today, it was trading above the trend line, came back to the trend line. Not a big deal at all, even though it looks like a big deal, down 2.19%. or 45 points to 1994.82. Before I go any further, let me say all these stocks are great long-time holds. I love them all. I've been in and out of all of them, mostly for a profit. Occasionally I messed up. I totally messed up by not holding Amazon, Facebook, and others. But in any event, I did trade them for profits years ago. Lately, I haven't been. But it's worth a fresh look for me. And it's also an objective look for those who may own the stock or are thinking of buying at this point. Would I be a buyer of Amazon? I definitely would. On any pullback to, let's say, the middle of the channel, I would be a buyer of Amazon, as even if it follows the midpoint of the channel, it will be 2,000, even with the touch of the bottom end of the channel, it's likely to be hovering 2,000 by the end of the month in the worst case. So it's below 2,000 now, but I don't grade it a buy at this point. I'd like to see a pullback to at least the midpoint of this channel. Okay, let's look at Google. Google Alphabet has had many touches of its trend line going back to April. And it once again has come down to touch its trend line. Also, it's found support all along at the 50-day moving average. And every time it went south of the 50-day moving average, it seems to have given back anywhere between 6 and, I don't know, 20%. So the moving average has been meaningful, very meaningful. And Google today went past that moving average, made a clean break of the 50-day, only to find support at its trend line. So Google is at a crucial moment. Will it bounce back above the 50, or will it continue on down? Tomorrow will give us clarity. A clean break of the 50 and a clean break of this trend line would ode ominous for Google or Alphabet, whatever you want to call it. I love the company, by the way. Netflix. Netflix looks like a pretty broken stock as it's been taking a stepwise decline, going back to its highs of just how long ago? 621, not so long ago at all. Made an all-time high at 423.21. It's given back quite a bit at 348.72, or 4% today, or 15 points. So we have this big red candle today as it was trying to come back across the upper trend line here. So I've drawn these 4 parallel trend lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like Netflix wants to play in the bottom rung of the 4. And if that's the case, it's not a terrible buy when it hits its trend line, if that trend line will hold. So if that trend line holds, it figures to start ascending after that. If that trend line does not hold, it will go just form a 5th trading channel as it steps its way down lower. So it's hard to say where we're going with Netflix. I don't like it at this point. I don't know how you can. But if you're a true believer, I would wait for a little bit more of a pullback to, let's say, the 331 neighborhood, 335 maybe. So if you want to enter, I think you got time to enter on Netflix. What else? We went over all but Facebook, right? Facebook is broken down just recently, way off its highs. Okay, so its highs were just 725 at, what was it? 218.62. Today it closed at 167, down 4 points, or 2.33%. And notice it closed below, it traded and closed below its lower trend line where it was finding many touches of support. So Facebook looks like a very broken stock. I gave a report on the market close yesterday, and I said I would be a seller of Facebook. There's got to be better things you can be in short term. Long term, I love the stock. So it's a question of timing here. Dr. J will let you know when he thinks Facebook is a good time to re-enter if you're like me and not in it now. So there we have it with the market wrap up. I hope you've enjoyed being with me for these few minutes while we examine the FAANG stocks. I'll be doing another broadcast later today on my